Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts, Brandon, Collin, and Aaron. On this week's show, it had an aroma. I have to remember to put out my trash in the morning because the trash schedule is off this week.
That is true. It's quite. What I did is that I just put my trash out on the normal day and then just left it down at the curb.
Oh my gosh, you're one of those people.
And then, because let's be real, sometimes I forget to take the trash down on the normal day anyway. And so there's absolutely no way I will remember to take it down on the newly scheduled day due to holiday scheduling kerfuffles, right? So like I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take it down and I'm just going to leave it there and I don't care. And if I have any trash, I'll just walk it the like 25 feet to the curb outside my, like, it's fine. Like, it'll be okay. Like,
yeah.
Cause some weeks, like we'll get home after, like, because our trash comes on Friday now. But problem number one, they changed our trash day, right? It used to be on Wednesday.
Oh, no.
It was on Wednesday for years. And then, like, last year, they're like, nah, Friday. And so ever since then, I've been real, like, mixed up. Just because I am, of course, a creature of habit. So some days, anyway, we'll get home from work on Friday and be like, dang it. There's our trash can up by the garage. Dang it. That's
Yep. Where it should not be right now.
Yeah, where it will not become empty. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and we I don't know what, well, I know what possessed to do this, but the day before, I guess December like 23rd, we went on like a purge around the house, like get rid of like pitching a bunch of just like straight trash or going through toys and finding ones that were broken and making those donate, sell, pitch piles. And so and then again, just getting rid of, like, sometimes it'd be like, wow, there's just a lot of trash in here, like paper or wrapping or whatever that needs to get gone. And so we filled our trash cans, and then at Christmas, and I was like, I have nowhere to put any of this stuff now. This is a bit of a quandary.
yeah, you see,
so we have two very full are ready to go.
Well, it's just like some weeks, like we have like no trash.
Yeah.
So when we forget, it's like, oh, well, that's fine. Who cares? But other weeks, it's like we cannot forget at all.
Yeah.
Not one single piece of trash will go into this trash can. Aaron, do you have as much problem with the trash as me, or is this just like a me thing?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, I don't have to like take out a trash bin or anything, but our trash comes out on Mondays. But usually, I'm the idiot that forgets that the garbage people even come on Mondays, and so I'm like throwing it out like after they've already left, or I'm like, where's the oh, that's what that banging was. Oh, my bad. So that's what I typically do. Especially after Christmas in our apartment complex, the trash thing was just full, and so I had to kind of come up with room, and I just felt bad just putting it in there. I'm like, sorry, I don't do this on purpose.
So you have like the big trash dumpster thing?
Yeah, we got about
there you go.
2 within walking distance of us, so it's kind of nice. Like, we get to pick and choose, but both of them were just astronomically full, and I'm like, ooh, I feel bad.
Yeah, my old apartment had that, and that was kind of nice because, like, then it literally didn't matter. You could just like fling it down whenever, and it just whatever. But like, now that I've have been tasked with the green wheel bin thing, the city, have to remember when to take it down to the road. And like, you know, in all honesty, like we don't really go outside the front door that much anymore, right?
Yeah.
So ever since Chuck passed away, like, you know, we're not going outside to walk the dog like a million times a day. So I'm not like physically seeing the trash can and walking by the trash can and putting dog poop things in the trash can. So like, I don't even think about it anymore because I'm like not constantly reminded about the trash because I'm not walking by it all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like that whole like, when do you realize you're out of toilet paper? Like when you're on the toilet, not like the
True.
like not
Yes.
any of the hours of the rest of the day. You're not like, oh, I wonder how much toilet paper I have. It's literally only when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh no. Yes.
Oh, yeah. And ours, I don't know. Ours is definitely one of those things where it's like, you must put it out the night before because we're going to be there at 4 a.m. to pick it up and blah blah. And then they don't roll around until 11 or 2 in the afternoon.
But yeah, ours don't show up till like late morning, afternoon, right? Like, and that's weird too because like whenever they changed it, I guess they just rescheduled the routes in the whole city. I think is what's happened. But like when it was on Wednesday, they would come at like 7:30 in the morning, right? And now they come at like noon. Which, I mean, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter because they're going other places at 7:30 in the morning, clearly. But, like, it's a weird thing to get used to, right? It's just like my brain has to recalibrate, and it has trouble with that, clearly. So, like...
Yeah. That's kind of like the lady who delivers our mail. When she runs the route, we have our mail by 8 in the morning. It seems like sometimes 9 in the morning. When literally anybody else does, it's like, 5 o'clock, 4. It's always like, oh, I'm so sad. Where's my mail?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Our mail runs around anywhere between 11 and 1, depending on, like, how much mail, right? Like, I think that's generally the time. I think that sounds right. Again, just where we are on the route and all that stuff. So that's less important to me than when the trash is coming. Like,
kind of a big deal. Important. Plus, the kids want to know when they can go out and they can watch trash people, trash men, trash
of course.
People. I don't like trash people. The trash men, trash guys, trash company, come around and watch the...
Do you say you don't like the trash people?
I said, no, I don't like that phrase, trash.
Oh, the name. Oh, yes, because it implies that they are trash. Okay,
yeah,
I got
exactly.
Okay. I was real confused there for a minute. I was like, whoa, this took a turn I was not expecting.
No, and I was like, well, I'll say trash men. And I was like, oh, no, there was a lady that one time, so trash people. And I was like, that's an awful phrase.
It's true.
Trash collectors.
Trash Men, though, great 60s band. Just so, there you go.
They were not on my street recently.
They might have been. You never know.
But we got to get out there. We got to watch them. Got to watch them work and wave to them. They are very nice. There was one day where we were crazy busy and I didn't get it out I didn't realize it until like 11 o'clock in the morning. And they were coming down a street, but they had already gone through one time. They were just coming. I don't know why they were like backtracking or whatever. And they saw me coming out and every other garbage can had already been emptied, and they stopped and they walked back and grabbed mine.
Well, that is nice, man. That's pretty handy.
Yeah, and I was like, thank you. But yeah, gotta watch them. So I know. How's your week of nothing going for you?
Mine was great. I didn't do anything. We did go to Branson to Susan's sister's house on Christmas. So we did our Christmas at home, which was weird. Like, we just hung out, watched some Christmas movies, opened the presents, right? And then we went down there. We took her mom with us to her sister's house. But then just came back later in the evening. So I wasn't like real late or anything. So that was good. Pretty chill. That was about it. That was
No, ours was very odd. We spaced out the unwrapping of presents. It was not to overwhelm anybody, and that went nicely. And then it was like 60 degrees, and so I guess we'll
that was upsetting, kind of like.
It was good. I did enjoy the weather. We're might get snow this weekend, but we'll see.
There we go. Yeah, that was really confusing, especially since one of the presents I got Susan was a new like fleece pullover to wear when she goes hiking. Awesome. So it's like, I mean, you could wear that today, except for it's like 70 degrees. So, I mean, it's like the most inappropriate gift for that temperature. Like, sorry, I didn't know it was going to be this warm when you were going to unwrap this. My bad.
But it will be cold eventually, right?
Like someday you might get to try it, right? We'll see how it goes.
That's great.
Aaron, what about you? How was your holiday
extravaganza?
Got to tour where Dad and all of them grew up. I didn't realize how big the area that they live in is, and particularly kind of it being next door to like really bougie establishments.
Where Gary lives? Yeah, they live in like the
really
Swankville.
I didn't know that growing up.
Yeah.
I was like, house, and so like that was different. And so we spent a few days up there, which was a lot of fun. I haven't seen them in 2 years, and so Shelby got to meet them.
That means I haven't seen them in like 10.
Yeah, and so we got to see what everyone's doing. I didn't plan it very well because cousin Alex and his wife came in like the day after we left.
That's really Alex's fault, I think.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah, him being a doctor and doing doctor. Well, but his wife Megan had to like work, like that morning, and they were traveling like with dogs, and so from Nashville to
Gary said they drove.
Like 20 some odd hours or like
yuck. Because he called me like right after you left.
Yeah,
for some reason
we talked.
Mostly he was like, Aaron came to see me. What are you doing? I was like,
not studying.
And so then we did that. Got to explore Kansas City, which was a lot of fun. Again, we got to see the World War I Memorial, which weirdly isn't open on Mondays. Found that out. But we got to tour like around it and everything, like the big statue in the tower and everything. Then we went to Union Station, the train station.
Yeah, that place is cool, man.
Then we did some mostly walking around and Gary talking about Gary things about the history of Kansas City and growing up there. And then Shelby got to meet Uncle Gary and Aunt Meredith, and she had a lot of fun. And just going up there and seeing them. And then we watched, I guess she's our second cousin who plays college basketball. We got to watch her on live stream, which was really fun. Then we came back, and Shelby is really bad at doing gifts. So her and I opened Christmas gifts like a week or 2 weeks before Christmas. So she's like, I can't tell you what I got you, but I really want you to know. Go ahead and open it. It's not wrapped. I'm like, oh, okay. So we went ahead and had our Christmas, and then we went to her grandma's, and then we were there for like 7 hours. And that half of the family is like really big, and so we did presents, boom, boom, boom. and then we went to her mom's and stepdad's, where we spent the night and had um, the main Christmas, and that's where we opened presents. And then we came back, and then Shelby left for Memphis this morning, so she is there for an all girls retreat, and I am stuck at home playing Halo, doing lesson plans, and studying for a stupid CDL test. So yes.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
bus
yeah,
driver,
truck
Aaron.
driver.
It like okay, so I've taken it twice, failed it both times. There's four tests that I need. There's the general knowledge, which is 50 questions.
Uh-huh.
Right. Then there's an air brake test, which is 25 questions. There's a passenger test, and then there is a what other random test? And so I've gone so close on the general knowledge test. It's frustratingly annoying how close I've gotten on it. And I can't do the air brakes. My brain just can't compute air brakes. And then passenger one is easy, except for I always miss like a stupid question. Because with those you can only miss 5, and if you miss the mount, then it ends.
Shuts off. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
I bet the answer is not turn around and scream, sit down and shut the blank up, right? That's probably not. So probably not the things that our bus driver used to do, right? So don't be Bill, right? Don't remember.
A lot of those questions, like some of them are like blatantly obvious, like where if there's an unruly child, like what should you do? Like, can you drop them off? Like, is it safe? And so it's like, you can drop them off at a safe location.
Just beat them up. Beat them up yourself. Is that the answer? The 90s answer.
That are
punch
like,
the kid.
Like due to like, are you able like how much weight can you carry in liquids on a bus? And you're like, what? So there's a lot of questions like those, and again, some of those are like, oh yeah, this is clearly the answer, and then it's like, due to Oklahoma law 2930 whatever, what's the maximum distance that you have to look at in advance for X, Y, and Z? And you're like, oh, it's clearly like this, and it's like, no, sight, loser, you fail. So, the general one, I get close, but I always grew up on like those rinky-dink questions, and with that you can miss 10, but then my anxiety kicks in and I start missing like stupid ones, and just gets worse and worse from there. So I plan on taking it maybe tomorrow afternoon. What I've been doing is I've been driving to West Tulsa and taking it. My superintendent knows the facilitator there, and I've been feeling awkward because I'm like, hey, I'm here to do this, and I kind of like jumped the line. But there's literally a DPS facility like 8 minutes from where I live, so I might just do it there and just wait in line and study, and not get there at like 6:30 in the morning, wait stupid line. But so once in Oklahoma, once you do that, once you pass, I think you have to get 3 of the tests. You don't have to do the air brake test. That's only if some of your buses have air brakes. But like, I think I'm just going to skip that one for now and just worry about the other ones, because the other questions, those other tests also ask you not things involving buses, but of trucks. And it's like, oh, what kind of a bulkhead do you need on this? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to transport kids. Like, I don't care. So once you do that, you then have to go to a facility and take the driver's portion, which is going to be extremely difficult because most of them you need to take like a 2-week class. But I think I'm taking the accelerated course because you have to go in and like you have to do the pre-bus inspection, and you have to point out different parts of the bus. Like, what is this? Like, oh, that is the whatever
seat.
valve.
Got it.
And then it's like, all right, describe it. And you're like, what? I have to describe it. So I'm getting the crash course variant, but I'm just kind of more worried about passing my stupid written test. as of the moment. But once I get those done, I will be able to drive a bus.
Driving, that's going to be, I feel like, full disclosure, I feel like you're making an enormous mistake with your life being certified to drive a bus at a small public school. Because there's going to be some days where they're going to go, we need somebody to drive a bus. The bus driver is called in sick or whatever. We don't have a bus substitute. Aaron! That's what's going to happen. And you're going to be at school at 5 in the morning running random bus routes to pick children up to go to school.
So thankfully, I am on the not morning route list because I live out of the jurisdiction of the school. So therefore, I cannot do bus duty. There's like 5 other teachers on that list, so it's kind of nice. But after school duties, I've already had to transport kids on like the little tiny white bus that we have, which that supposed to hold like 14 kids. And I took one of the junior high teams on an away game on it, which we won, by the way.
Well, hey.
But yeah, I drove that little white. It's kind of like one of those buses that like you see like older people going on, and it says like Sunnyside elderly, living on the side of it.
Yeah, they're like the van style, the real short ones. The like
and so it's that, and it has like wheelchair access on the back, and has like a space for like everything. So it's one of those, but it's we've utilized it for school purposes because it has like our logo and things on it, and typically like the cheerleaders take it, but I've driven that bus before, which is fine. It's almost kind of like driving like a 15 passenger van, just like a little bit bigger. And so, but yeah, driving like one of the big buses, I'm like, oh, I've driven trailers before, and like, yeah, whatever. I've driven, a strew of things, if you will, but I'm like, I've never driven anything that big. Huh.
Yeah, they're kind of enormous, right? Like,
yeah. But with some of the newer buses, because I've seen and read horror stories about like the older kind of buses, like the old like automatic or the old manual buses,
like the one that I rode on as a child, Bus 15.
But thankfully, ours are a little bit newer. But I was talking with one of the other coaches the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, the brakes don't work," and I'm like, well, that's not cool.
That's not useful. I haven't.
I'm dealing with a little bit older buses.
I haven't seen a manual school bus in years at this point.
I'm sure they got those off the road as fast as humanly possible.
Like, I think the last time I rode on one, I was in like junior high track. Right. I'm pretty sure that's the last time. I don't remember. I think our school district phased them all out pretty much around then. And then I haven't seen one since then. All the buses that we have at school are automatic. All the buses I've ever seen at anybody else's school are automatic.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing jankier than a manual shifting school bus because like the transmission is just like kind of just broken all the time anyway. So like I have been on the school bus where they have stalled out in like really strange spots, right? The best one ever. Do you remember at the bottom of that James River Hill where you used to have to stop at that railroad crossing?
Yeah, before they
exempted the railroad crossing off 60 Highway. Yeah. We were going to a track meet in like, I don't remember, Willard, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, the principal was driving the bus.
Oh, no.
And he stopped at this railroad crossing, and then he went to go, and he like stalled the bus out like on the railroad tracks on the highway.
Oh, yes.
And so naturally, the track team was just like, like because we were in middle school, so obviously we were just super kind about this situation because middle schoolers are kind and nice and thoughtful human. Oh wait, no,
so none of that actually.
None of that is true. And so that happened. And I also remember that one time, Bill, good old Bill, was driving up the hill at Dad's house.
Mhm.
But apparently it's paved now. Who knew?
I know.
Not me. That was a weird revelation. But it used to be really nasty gravel, right? We were driving up that hill and the bus stalled out like halfway up.
Oh,
So basically, he like yelled at the high schoolers. He was just like, tell me if I'm going to hit something. And he just started like backing down the hill.
Uh-huh.
And so obviously the bus is not on. There's why he might have been able to restart it. But like there's like the brakes were not working because the bus was stalled on the thing. And so we rolled all the way down that giant hill backwards.
Whee! Oh.
Oh Lord. That was exciting. And then got a better run at it. Like he just got the bus started, backed way up, and then like went mega fast, and was just like you got a big running start. We sort of hopped up the hill because it was going. The transmission was being grumpy, and so that was
Oh. Man, that
yes,
that was a that hill would washboard out so incredibly bad. And
I think that's what happened. It started jumping,
yes.
And then he went to shift gears, and it just went and went to downshift to go up the hill, and it just blasted out and killed the bus.
Yeah.
Yay! But yeah, the back end would like skip sideways because it'd be so washboardy, and he'd have to really, really power up and run at it, so it kind of and hop sideways.
Yeah, well, it would do that in basically any other vehicle you were doing too, and you really had to watch your speed because you would start going sideways if you weren't careful. So
yeah, true. So it was a hazardous time. So Aaron, be safe. Hopefully you don't have any manual buses. You can't.
And if you do, you need to come by and pick us up. And
I just know that it in the future, if I want to climb up that coaching ladder or school ladder, that a lot of schools to help them save money just hire people teachers that who have CDLs. Because I was talking to one of the older teachers, and they were like, "Yeah, you're lucky because the old superintendent, only hired teachers that had their certification and their CDLs. He would not hire anybody else." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet! I lucked out just in time." So I know that will also help me in the future because a lot of schools, every time that I interview somewhere, they're like, "Hey, CDL," and I'm like, "No, but I can get it." And they're like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Oh man."
Huh.
So
interesting.
Yeah, no, I refuse. We're not doing it. Don't care.
Have
not
you been
driving the bus.
Have they asked you to do it, Brandon?
Nope. Nope. And I would not do it anyway because I don't care. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I know if I'm going to be a head coach, which should be the plan next year, a lot of times they only have a teacher or just one coach go with them. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I need to do it.
Yeah. So. As I don't coach anything, this is not really a problem that comes up. So I don't have to worry about it.
Turns out,
when you don't coach anything, you hide.
Gaming.
There you go. Our school is like, they were like, hey, we're trying to see if somebody wanted to coach like middle school baseball. And I was like, what?
Do it.
Why?
Oh.
What? No.
Coaching stipend.
Oh, yeah. The coaching stipend at my school is going to be like $12. No, thank you.
Whoa.
$12 more than what you had.
And I actually haven't played baseball since I was in middle school. So, like, that's really not really good.
I mean, the game hasn't changed, has it?
I mean, probably has.
Not really.
I probably are rules that I was not even aware of as a middle schooler. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to hit the ball and run. Oh, exactly. Okay, there we go. Got it.
That's all you need to know.
So, yeah, that's ridiculous.
You get to learn as you go.
Yeah, no, I'm not coaching. I'm not cut out for coaching. I'm so like not competitive that like I would just like, as we learned from my time coaching YMCA soccer, like some of the parents at the other places we were going were like screaming at the kids, and I would turn around and look at them and be like, you know, this is the YMCA, right? You're aware of where we are. You know they're actually not even keeping score. You know that because they're 10. Go away. Like, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So luckily, I will luck out of coaching. Knock on wood, because I just don't have it in me. I'm not a competitive person. Like, I don't care about winning. So, like, no one would hire me to be a coach. Like, like that's not really a thing that I possess. Like, I don't know. I don't really have that like competitive streak where like I want to do like well personally on some things, but other things I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not gonna bother. I don't have to like beat anybody. So,
like, I mean, at a school that I'm at, where some sports are favored more than others.
That's every school. That's okay.
Yeah. Baseball has never been like that sport, and so they're like, look, we introduced baseball like 10 years ago, and we've had like a coach, and we've never fired anybody. So
yeah,
he's like, wins and losses are fine, but like, I mean, and that's I am competitive, but like I've met some people that are like, eat, sleep, and baseball, and I'm like, well, I mean, like that's cool and all, but how about lessons of these kids can use in life and how to not be terrible people? Like, if I can get that out of a kid, like I win. So that's all that I'm really shooting for is, you know.
I mean, that is true. Like at our school, it is definitely like basketball or die. So like, other sports exist in theory, but like basketball, bro, like that's the only one everyone cares about. So yeah, I get that too. But like, and that's just a me personality thing. Like it's nothing against like anybody that is like that. I'm just like, I can't. I'm not wired to be like, oh my god, I have to win. Because I'm like, it's fine. I don't, whatever. Like, because that's why I'm the same way. As like that's why I coached at the Y, because it was about fun time and learning how to play a game and like community involvement and like that kind of stuff. Not, oh my gosh, I must win.
Yeah.
So, but we wish you luck on Truck Driving 101.
Wow.
Surely there's some like video stuff that you could watch.
Oh, there are. I've been breaking practice test after practice test online, and there's just so much. And some of
those are pretty in depth.
Totally easy, and then like you get to the test, and it's like, oh, this is nothing like we discussed. And so then like once you don't pass the first test, you just get demoralized, and then it just kind of goes down from there. And so I'm like, I just want to get done and go home. That's all I care about right now. So
well, and I'm sure like it's one of those things too, where like if it was just one at a time, right. And like yes, it might be it'd be more easily digestible information, but the fact that there are 4, it sounds like very separate tests. And you must have all of that knowledge. That's a lot of information to store for that short amount of time. So that's a difficult thing to prepare for, right? Like having that much information stored in your brain for just like one test. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to go in tomorrow or the other day and be like, look, I just want to take this test and just call it good for now. Please.
Is that an option? Can you do that?
Yes. So, because I think when I took it the first time and the second time, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to do it. And it's like, 4 tests? Okay, here you go. You're on station 5. And I'm like, whoa, that is not what I'm here for. So, yeah, I think if I can just study one at a time, just, like, I just need to do this test and focus on this test only, I think it'll be a lot easier. And I think that's what I'm going to do in the next few days because our school starts the 3rd, and so I need to at least get some of these or all of them out of the way because then the new system kicks in February too. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
there's just a lot too. So yeah.
Good luck. Have to keep us abreast of the bus driving. Let us know when we need to get you a trucker hat that is appropriate for bus drivers to wear in celebration of your new.
Aaron already has quite a few.
Oh, they will now. That's true, but are any of them appropriate school bus driver hats? Wait.
Do not fit me.
Wait,
Aaron.
School bus drivers in Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure you have to have a cowboy hat. Yes.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
Of course it's a thing. A giant 10-gallon hat. You gotta, pull up, do a power slide into this bus stop, throw open the door, come up and yell, "Get on in," and you'll be good to go.
It's true. Or, I like this. We're going to look for you some hats, Aaron.
Don't worry.
That are appropriate for...
Sliding into the bus barn is not an option because our bus barn is like the size of a small... Like, imagine our driveway when it was gravel, like that long and that wide. And it's just
okay, so you're rallying a bus. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, perfect. I see all the... Bill would definitely slide that. Maybe not on purpose, but like...
I don't know if I like this very much.
You keep saying like this is a bad thing, and I just keep seeing opportunities. I'm like, come on.
Bill definitely used to slide the bus on Peck Hollow Road, frequently. Like, he would go to stop, and it would just be like... right, like... rolling up in somebody's house, just like... gravel flying everywhere, dust, choking. I'd be like, get off! And then, like, speed away. The cloud of dust. Yes.
This is gonna be a thing, and then, and actually, what we'll end up doing is, since you'll probably be in the market for a new bus eventually, you will need to employ the power of Rallycross to determine which is the best bus.
Yes,
for
the best bus, clearly
your school district there.
Your busing needs.
Is it the bendy bus? Probably
not the bendy bus. Probably not.
Bus.
Well, to show you kind of how conditioned our vehicles are, we get them inspected every other year, and this year we wrote a check for like $1,000 to get like the basic maintenance. One of the buses costed like 50,000. Yeah, and it's just like
to fix.
So we wrote and check for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish buses. You can look at in basic maintenance, like whatever. Like, all right, here's all of them, fix them. And there's what's called our activities bus, which is much larger. And it's one of those things that has like it's like a very old travel bus, like an old Greyhound bus kind of. And so,
okay,
nice.
We had that, and then they're like, the people are like, "Where have you been getting this maintenance at?" And they're like, "No, this needs like a whole complete overhaul." So,
no,
yeah, that bus has costed a very pretty penny, unfortunately. And yeah, that one still has some major issues. And the coach I was talking to the other day, it's like, yeah, it's strange. I dropped off the last kid, and I was driving back to the barn, and the brakes wouldn't work. And so he's like, I had to call he's not a bus maintenance person. He's just an overall maintenance guy. And they had to set out like railroad tires to kind of like act as stop it. And I'm like,
throw the hay bales out in front, like the runaway ramps in the mountains.
Yeah. So if you guys ever come visit, I'll show you in the bus barn.
We're not riding the bus. No,
in the bus where people have had to like nudge the barn to stop, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Oh no.
Yeah, so
This is a bad idea.
that's what I've been working on the past little bit. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna spend most of all day just studying, just taking practice tests, notes after notes, and just going maybe in the afternoon. It's like I just need to take and test and just be done with it for now. So we'll see how it do. But yeah, just sitting there from about 8 o'clock and walking out of there at like 10 is exhausting, and I'm like, I'm done.
Well, yeah.
So,
true.
Although I think the first time I took it, I was in and out in like 30 minutes because I was like, I know what I'm doing, and then it's like, oh, I don't know any of this, and just like click, 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 click. Oh, I'm done. And the lady's expression, she's like, oh, you're done? Are you done, sweetie? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, let's look at your scores. I'm like, oh, that's okay.
Like, no, running away. No, let's not do that.
Did someone study? And I'm like, you can study for this thing? And she's like, here's the thing. Go home and do it. I'm like, okay. And so the second time I did
Thank you.
better. But just the look on her face, she's like, oh, are you done, sweetie? And I'm like, I'm smart, I promise. And she's like, oh, it's the second time I walked in, there's like, oh, it's almost your birthday. And I'm like, so can you just ask me? She's like, ha, 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 it's station 5. And I'm like, dang it.
Hey, you don't know if you don't ask, right? That's
true.
It's always good to ask these things, right?
Yeah. So I'll see what I can do tomorrow and just kind of take it from there.
Yeah, we'll definitely check about the just doing one of them thing, because that sounds. But like I said, that's just a lot of stuff to do all at once.
Yeah.
Try to keep straight in your brain.
Yeah, it's just exhausting after a while.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm done. So. But yeah, that's what Shelby's in Memphis for a girls' weekend.
Is she going to the Bass Pro Pyramid?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought about asking her, but she's like, why would I go there? And I'm like, so.
Because it's a pyramid? Duh.
Getting to see all the wonders of Memphis, Tennessee. And yeah, so I'm going to be not doing anything on my birthday again. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did on my birthday. It was great.
I made that revelation the other day because you guys had birthday parties growing up, right?
No. Well, I mean, what?
Like you invited friends over.
Oh yeah. Well, after once we broke into things, we Dad didn't really let us do that.
Yeah, I had kind of stuff.
No.
Oh yeah, we broke a lot of stuff. So it's everything. I probably ruined this for you. I'm sorry. This might be my fault that you didn't do it because we broke the hammock, right? Somebody broke the toilet one time.
Also shocker.
Every 5 seconds, Dad would come down and yell at us it's 1:30 in the morning. Go to bed. We're all 12. We're not going to bed. We talk about
because I was thinking, I never had a full on friend's birthday party. I've never invited people over because it's always been Christmas break for my birthday. And every time I've tried to invite somebody, they're like, oh, we're on Christmas vacation. It's like, oh, okay. No, that's fine. And so last year was the first time I've actually had people over for a birthday. And I think I was more held against my will by Shelby. She's like, we're having a birthday party. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it made me realize how fun it was to have people. But after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm done. What do you mean? I'm like, I'm done. I don't I had people. It was nice. I said hi, and I'm done. It's my birthday. I want to go do what I want. So yeah, that was my realization. I was like, oh, I don't have to go anywhere for my birthday this year. This is kind of nice. Look at me. So little thoughts I was having the other day, and I'm like, oh, I have to have a birthday. I'm like, oh, I get to have a birthday with no one here.
So you can do whatever you want. You can eat all the exciting birthday food, whatever birthday food you desire.
No, that is the one thing. Shelby's like, you're still dieting. I'm like,
I mean, on your birthday though, like,
yeah,
I mean, I
I have to
think
go. I at least go to the gym, which I've been going every day. I lost 15 pounds, which is like you have to check in every day. So I've been sending her Snapchat every day of me at the gym.
Nice.
wow.
Me doing gym things.
Blink,
So.
if you're okay, Aaron. That's what we
Yeah.
need to
Oh yeah, I'm
know.
fine.
Twice.
I also had the realization before we left for school for break. I had baseball practice with some of the kids, and I was hitting some ground balls, just thinking at them, and I'm like, wow, I have no upper body strength, and so I'm like, I actually do need to like legit have a workout of some way, shape, or form. So I was like, ooh, I have no upper body strength to do any of this. So I've been actually like doing my normal stuff and actually like working out, and I'm like, yes, now this is how it's supposed to be. So because I was just hitting him, one of my kids is like, Coach, you hit him harder, and I'm like, trying. I'm
No.
good at this.
No,
scoot
in. Why are you so far away?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been me. And I'm like, oh, I haven't picked up a baseball bat in years. Whoops. So
Same.
yeah.
But like, I don't coach baseball, so
Right.
Need to do junior high baseball. It's super easy.
Not doing it.
Yes.
Refuse.
Coach Funkhauser and Coach Funkhauser.
Nope. I'm already having to do things I don't want to do anyway, so that's fun.
Coach baseball.
No, and we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm still salty about this, so I don't want to talk about it right now. But
whoa.
Well, Colin's going to be coaching gymnastics here in the next few years, so
that's true.
Pretty much. I'm already gearing up for it. You know, it's good, doing stuff. No, I still really wish that
got the uneven bars in the backyard already.
You know what?
You go.
I really should think about that. No, it's annoying that none of the places still have that. Nobody has any availability for anything, and it's insanely frustrating that they don't. So we're on like 4 different wait lists, which is fine. It's fine, but when you've got the little girl who's like
Lily
must be active at all time, you're like, okay, woo, calm, woo saw a little bit. We're gonna work through this. It's gonna be fine. And she's like, so she wore her brother out today. I mean, he tried so hard to keep up with her, and by it was like an hour before bedtime, he was out. He was gone. So he tried so hard.
Poor Noah.
Yeah.
Dembski.
And we're trying to do as much stuff as we can outside while the weather's still really nice-ish.
True.
Until this weekend or whatever was going to happen this weekend. I don't know. It's going to be cold and maybe snow. So, like, taking those opportunities best we can. But then we start back up school January, so be good for both of them.
It's true. Get back to routining stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to do that, but other people apparently.
Oh, we had a here's it. Tales from the pet sitting life. Had a guy call us today, and he at first
did he want you to sit a duck?
No, he didn't.
Dang it!
Unfortunately, because I would have been like, I know a person.
I know about ducks now. I've done extensive research.
No, but on that, now that I have 3 people, it's like, yeah, now I get to kind of be like, hey, like, what services would you want to offer, or like, do you feel passionate about? And one lady was like, we really need to be offering pet taxi services in town because nobody's doing that. I was like, sweet.
Pet taxi.
I'll go get the insurance and buy the appropriate car harnesses, and that can be something that we offer if people need that. And then obviously with the person we're hiring here, he's got grooming experience and he wants to continue to do some grooming. Awesome, like we can do that. But that's kind of fun, just to lean into everybody's expertise and see how to.
Okay.
What?
I need to know, what is a pet taxi service?
Oh,
what does that even mean?
Sure. No, that's somebody who goes, hey, I'm at work, but I have a grooming appointment for my dog at 2:00 that I cannot take them to. Could you go to my house and drive my dog to the groomer?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or somebody actually did reach out to us and said, hey, my work hours are very weird, and I leave in the morning before the daycare service that I use for my dog is open. Could you come by and take
them to the
daycare, and then pick them up at the end of the day and take them home? Very simple service.
That's really weird to think about, using one pet service to deliver your pet to another pet service.
Yeah. No. I same. Obviously, we would want for them to be to use our service for in their home, but it's still like that's something that we can do. Or people can't take them to. One person was like, I try and schedule all of my visits. My dog just has kind of their day of stuff where like they go to the groomer and the vet, and they go for a walk. So it's like you can just take them from place to place.
You could do the walk and then take them to the groomer and the vet, and then just bring them back home. Yeah. That's pretty cool, actually. Does that mean that you're going to buy a van? The Funky Bunch, the official Funky Bunch van? Gasp! Yes, that's what it means. Aaron, he's van shopping right now. I know he is.
If this grows, a van is in order. Because then you can seriously take like 3 or 4 dogs at a time. I don't want to be transporting 15. There are people that
but you could like put little kennels in the van.
I can get my CDL. We could drive a bus and renovate it on the inside like a DIY thing.
It's the dog van.
See? I'm telling you, where it's all coming together. But yeah, no, seriously, one lady we know legitimately bought a school bus and transports that many dogs with her. She has a special seat harnesses for each one of them. Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, getting a little Ford Transit van with special kennels, because that way then it's super crash safety rated. And
you could just put them in the kennels inside the van.
Yeah,
and that way they could be like harnessed in the so they wouldn't like bop around and stuff.
Yeah, because right now we're only really going to be able to offer a one dog at a time, which is fine.
Yeah, because just being like the back seat or whatever. But
yeah, it just means that we have to. The pricing is where this gets really awkward and weird, because it's like, do you go with a flat rate? Do you do a base rate plus a per mile rate? Do you, and then kind of what are some limits? Like, how far are we going to drive out? How far, because then it's like, someone's paying per mile, but I'm paying my staff per hour. So I've got to make sure that this stuff adds up eventually.
Or do you do that hybrid model where you okay, here's the rate, and then if it goes over this mileage, then I charge you this much per mile?
Yeah, that's what we're leaning to. So
because like if it's just like on the other side of town, like that should be like, okay, well, it's fine. Like, but if they have to drive, if that's in Nixa, like, all right, that's going to cost you more, right? Like,
Uber per dog sit.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is. And because we're going to have the insurance for that, because that's something you have to add as a business. Like I have to add
clearly
pet transportation that, and then plus we're going to get different gear. Like, and I'm paying an hourly rate. Like service is going to be, it's not going to be cheap for anybody, but it's I'm trying to solve a problem, and it's basically going, okay, like how valuable is this solution to you? And then letting them decide.
Well, and if you're the only one offering that, right? Like,
there is, I think, one other person that does it, but it's really not common now. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to we're trying to partner with. We're trying to again see what little value adds. Like we're partnering with a poop scooping company to give discount referrals to anybody who like if they book poop scooping through our company, we subcontract out to this other company, and that way we're kind of increasing their exposure, and we're able to quote unquote offer more services without having to hire people and bring on all that equipment.
Wait, they like okay, so I misunderstood this. It's not like a manufacturing of a product, it's like a service
For poop scooping?
like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there are two companies, I think two, maybe more. I've only found two. We've only been in contact with one though. Their entire business is
I mean that's good. Don't
no, it's fine. Their entire business model is they go from house to house and they scoop dog poop from the backyard.
Okay.
We've thought about offering this. It's very time intensive though. And,
yeah, very.
And we figure if somebody's already out there doing it, what I'll do is I'll say, hey, my pet sitting dog walking company, we offer poop scooping services. And when they book them, I subcontract it out to this other person who's already out doing all that stuff, who already has the equipment, who's already managing the waste, who already has the personnel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about it.
That's true. Then you just take like the percentage of the like finder's fee or whatever. Like
exactly.
Okay,
it's
like,
basically all that would be. Is we would just cut 10, 15% or whatever we just agree on to off of that, and off we go. And then they just book through us. And then we kind of get that. So we'd obviously be a little bit more expensive, but it's like I don't know. So we're trying to find things like that of like how many little value adds without getting too diluted and away from the main mission.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that's something too you can like add slowly over time, right? But having a couple of those is good to help you break in because like, oh hey, we're unique and we're offering these things, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
well,
it's like,
it allows for more sticky services for once you do get a client, one person who's like, oh, I want your dog walking. But now we can say, oh, we also offer the suite.
Oh, these other things. Yeah, true.
Right for you. And kind of try and make sure we're pairing them well with what with our core product, core services really. Yeah, so that's interesting growing that. We did move into Dad's original office space. So
did you really?
Yeah, we really did. I have to go pick up.
That's hilarious. The one with John and stuff. Is he still there?
He's still there.
That's hilarious.
Teresa's still there. I talked to her today.
Is she really?
She is.
How far down the hallway are you?
Oh no, I'm in Dad's first office. His literally his first.
The one in the middle of the hallway?
Yes, yeah, that one.
Holy cow! For real?
For real?
I didn't. I just thought you meant the actual building, not the actual office. Holy cow! That's hysterical.
Yeah. No, it's the one where we've talked about it on this very show where he had the microfiche film thing.
In the front, and then there's the door to the back office where his desk was.
Yep, and he had that weird shared wall with the barricaded door that went to the education lady or whatever.
I don't know what it was, but yeah, there was a door there. He had that little couch thing in front of it, that weird like metal couch thing.
Yeah, the metal love seat.
Yeah,
metal armchair.
The green one.
Exactly. Yeah, so we it's literally that one.
That's insane.
Because what had happened was he was asking about like what our office was like currently, and I was explaining what it was, and he asked like how much do you pay for that, and I told him, and he was like, that's a lot. And I was like, I know, it's kind of what we have available and blah blah. And he's like, hold on, and he called John. He's like, hi John, yeah, it's Jack. We haven't talked in a long time. Do you have any offices available? And like, no joke, like a couple days before that office had been vacated and had just became available.
Whoa.
And, yeah, had just become available. And so I was like, sweet, done. It was like
That's crazy.
literally half, almost not necessarily quite half, but almost half what we were paying at the other place. Sure,
really?
we don't get
Holy cow!
sure we don't get free printing or access to like snack stuff, but
Yeah, but you can get your own snacks now.
get my own.
With the money that you're saving, you can have your own snacks and buy a printer.
Exactly is what we're thinking. So it's like the money saved. Sorry, Aaron.
Have they updated the bathroom?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Probably
The
not.
bathroom is quite
If
small.
you remember, yes,
It's tiny.
No, it's not. It's not a. Yeah, it was not a nice bathroom. It was there. And that was the other thing too. Of like, I was like, okay, is this like the nicest office space in the world? No, but B,
Yeah, but
am I
like,
going to be spending any time there at all? No, and
Not
neither will my
really.
staff. Like, I need basically
it's like storage and
an address.
like-
That's what I need.
yeah.
I need an
I mean,
address,
I
like-
want to go visit it now just for
I know.
nostalgia purposes.
Oh no,
But
I know we will.
like
we
that's
will.
important. But
It is.
like
So
also, that's really not like a bad location
exactly.
to be a hub for a service like that because it's pretty like right in the middle of town. So it's
Yeah.
pretty centrally located.
This was the other thing, is that the other office was down way on the south side of town, and then they'd also moved us to a new office space off of Lone Pine, down by the like literally across from the quarry.
Oh,
Where
how convenient.
not convenient at all. You
Plus
could not
quarry
be,
blasting.
could not be further
Oh.
away from like anything. So I was already kind of like, I think we need to change this. And then when this came up, I was like, okay, like we're saving serious money. It's easy. It's better access. I get an actual like my own physical space.
Yeah.
And I don't have to like behind lock and key. And we can just
Yeah.
kinda-
I mean, double lock, really, because
Yeah,
that
the
front door
front door
locks
and
at the
the-
end of the night.
yes.
And then the
Yeah.
office door, plus the other office door, plus if you have like a filing cabinet, right? Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like,
And because we are
Couldn't
storing,
you also use it? Couldn't you also use it to like interview people in the future, or like
yeah, we'll do interviews there, or like when we're in town, like we'll meet up with staff there, or it's just again, the impetus of this whole thing was getting a local address so that we could do search engine optimization and Google stuff and blah blah blah.
when again, get mail, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's
get mail. And,
that's important stuff too, right?
and then it's weird, but we do have things to store, mainly like keys and walking equipment and gear. Like, there's things and stuff, and I kind of
And
do
a
want a
van.
place where people can just go and be for a minute, right? Not have to worry about.
Well, that's true. Like
sit in
we
my
said before,
car.
like if and if they have one walk at like let's say 10:30, and then another walk at like so they go 10:30 to 11, and the next one's not till like 12 or whatever, and they can like go there,
Exactly.
do some stuff,
So
get
we're gonna
there,
work-
refresh their walking gear, and then like grab a snackerino and then like leave. So
yeah.
Exactly. This is what I want. And so now comes the hard part of stalking an office remotely. And and
true.
which is a little difficult because I can't just like, my first thought was, well, I'll get on Facebook Marketplace and I'll go find, some office furniture for sale for cheap or whatever, and then wait, I can't get them there.
You can get
So there's some logistic things now that we're in that, but it's going to be good. And I'm very excited for it. And yes, I am definitely looking forward to being able to go and just be in that office again. So it's kind of cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Now we
I was thinking like just the building. I
Oh, no.
I did not compute that it was the exact same office.
I was thinking it was the first office, like the one with the window, like the one like when you first walk in.
I don't know. That's the premium one. You know,
That was
that
his
one.
second.
It's kinda like-
that was the second office
Yeah.
that he had. And
Yeah, I
honestly,
remember that because I remember spending oodles of hours there.
they still have the center decal, I think, at least the Google images do. Of had airflow engineering and had that
Does
center
it?
design thing.
Yeah.
The
pyramid, the triangle
Street
thingy?
View, yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
circle thing with like stripes on it. Yeah.
It's green, right?
It was on his business card.
Yeah.
On the window, it was white.
Okay.
The Google Street View still shows remnants of that. So
Does it really?
it does.
That's hysterical.
So the other thing I realized is we also need to get the metal dolly so we can push each other up and down on it in the hallway.
Yes, that is important. That's an important part of. I mean, you probably just need a dolly in your office anyway, just for heavy pet supplies, right?
Yeah,
I feel like that's important.
Yeah, while we wait for Dad to get off the phone.
Yes.
But, basically, yeah. So all that to say, yeah, changes there. Oh, this originally started because I was going to tell you a story that a guy called us today because he needs our pet services because he just quit his job for mental health reasons and he is going to go to South America for a while.
What does that mean for a while?
And I went, oh, well, thank you for contacting us. Tell us about your dog and kind of what you're looking for. And he's like, well, he's a shepherd, whatever mix. And just honestly, like I called a couple other places and it's just way too much money, which is never a good thing to start off this conversation with. Because I know.
No.
And
I was going to say, yeah,
it's not going to go well. And
you might not like what I'm about to tell you, sir.
Exactly. I definitely have information for you, whether you like it or not. We'll figure it out. But he was like, it was weird talking to this man. He was like kind of telling me about like all of his like past life. I was on the phone with this guy for like 20 minutes, and he was like, his job was awful, so he's needing to quit, and he has a friend that lives that's in Brazil right now, and he just wants to kind of get away and decompress, and he's not really sure how long he's going to be gone, and he wants to know like how much it would cost for a package. And I was like, 2 packages for this very reason, and he kind of quoted him some stuff on a per day of like how many visits we would do, and he was like, oh, I can't do that, way too much. And I was like, okay. Like I'm not coming down on price. And then he was like, well, I'm going to have my mom and dad take care of my dog for a little bit. I've got a friend. So I think I would just need you guys for like 7 or 10 days. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so how long are you going to go? And he's like, I don't really know how long it's going to be. And I was like, well, I would need to know like really start and stop dates for us.
That's true. It's kind of important. Is it 7 or is it 10?
Or
is it
15?
6?
Like, I don't know. And then I was like, and when are you trying to leave? And he was like, I don't really know. I mean, I'm trying to buy plane tickets today, maybe leave on Monday, which listeners is like less than a week away. Like 5 days at this point.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's insane. And to hear him talk about his dog was like, yeah, I really love her, but also she's just a dog, so I'm just trying to do what's going to be fine and bare minimum with her, and blah blah blah. I was like, this is not going to end well at all. This is bad.
Yeah, that's really not what you want to hear.
No. Yeah. And I just left it at like, let us know. We'll schedule a meet and greet and blah, blah. And I have not heard back from him at all after we sent him the meet and greet request. So nothing will come of that. It was just, I've never had someone who's like, I don't know how long I'm going to be gone. I just need to kind of get away. And yeah. Okay. Weird. Very weird.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, I get it. But also like, when are you coming back though? Like that's
especially. I mean, I got super suspicious when he was like, "I'm just trying to get away to like South America." Like
did you rob a bank?
I know.
Are you Butch Cassidy? Like, what's happening?
Exactly. I was like, tell me about this previous job of yours.
Who says that? Actually, wait, don't. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't want to be considered an accomplice. I think the less I know at this point, the better. But also, like,
Yeah, exactly.
I have concerns. I just, so anyway, like that was weird. And Megan was also like, he what? He what? How? When? I was like, I don't know. He doesn't know.
I can see that phrase and like Megan's personality just really not coping well together at all. Like that's
I know exactly. There was
that's not like a dig or a slide or anything, but she's very like a planning. She's like a very much planning oriented person. And so the sentence, yeah, I'm going to South America for a while. Like I can see the steam coming out of her ears. Like it's.
Oh no, she's very planned. She's very like methodical. She sees steps to do and all this stuff. And
well, exactly right.
Yeah,
and so that sentence is just like. What?
Like it does not compute. Like
exactly.
Error. Like it's returning a 404 redirect error. She's like, I don't. What?
Exactly.
Oh. So it's just one of those just fun things, and I know we'll experience more and more of that stuff. Even more now, getting into a larger area.
Yeah, true.
Okay, well, we're ready for it, and we were actually revamping our policies and procedures now with employees in mind, to both protect us, but most importantly, make sure that they're protected and are equipped with what they need. Right, that's the big
to
thing.
Help them navigate weird situations like that. Right, like what do I tell somebody if they tell me this?
Yep, exactly.
They're like, yeah, I'm going to Chile for an undetermined amount of time. Like. Well, here's my pricing guide. Let me know how many days you want me to come to your house. Boom, bye. Like
exactly, and it's so hard because Megan and I were just talking about that, about how people let themselves get taken advantage of, and that happens in life in general, right? Where like you just
every field, right?
Every field where you just kind of let yourself be walked over because. I mean, any number of reasons, like you don't feel valuable, you need to be affirmed, you are desperate for money, or you are trying to climb a corporate ladder or whatever, and you feel like that's what you have to do to get ahead, is by sacrificing your boundaries, your mental health, your well-being for this thing that you're after and chasing. And the really sad part is that the more you do that sacrifice, the less likely you are to either A, enjoy it at the end of the day, or B, ever accomplish it because you burn out too fast. And it's just, I think about that so many times when people call and they're just like, I don't want to pay your rates, and I need you to do X, Y, and Z for me that aren't on your service list. And it's like, hi, I run a business. No. It's just,
yeah. How about no? Like,
yeah, exactly. How about, and it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's kind of satisfying to see the look on their face or hear the tone in their voice change. Like, no, I don't need you. Okay, bye. Oh, and it's it's whatever. It's whatever. So that's anyway, that's
crazy.
That's our new expansion saga, and I hope by the time that we're all together, that we can go sneak away to the office for a little bit.
I just want to go in that building again and see what the heck's going on in there, man. That's what I want to see.
I want to see if it still smells the same.
Probably does. Let's be real. It does.
Yeah. No, I really think it does too. But anyway,
so that'll be exciting.
That was the first thing that I thought about, was like, and it didn't smell bad. It just
it just had it had an aroma, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm with Aaron. I want to check at the bathroom out to see how exactly the same it is.
The bathroom hallway was like the hallway was super tiny, and then they had the vending machine right in front of it.
Oh, I forgot there was a vending machine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, see, I don't even need snack. I would have boom done.
I would have to sit there and Like, when Dad would be like, "Oh, so let's go into work." I'm like, "Oh, I get to go to work with Dad." And then we would sit there for hours when he'd be on the phone, and then I'd be like, "I have $1, go get a Coke or something," and it's like, in his first office, just go right around the corner, or like go down the hallway and like wave to John and all of them, and sprint down there and get a drink. I was too scared to go all the way down the hallway because I didn't know those people. But yeah, it was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom, and it's like getting there, you had to navigate down like this super narrow hallway.
It was not long though; it was like a foot. It was like
yeah, and like, well, because there was the men's bathroom like right when you turn the corner, and then there was the women's bathroom, but like it was just very narrow. Yeah, and so.
I'm pretty sure the men's bathroom used to be some sort of broom closet because it was very tiny.
It had to. It had to.
If you're little and like you're sitting there waiting, and someone comes out and it's like, "Oh well, whoops, this is awkward because it's very small and you had to like back up." And yeah, it was just. I don't miss it, but I loved going and just spending time in that office. But then. Being a very small child, like, oh, I don't have the attention span to just sit here and this whole time. But I thought it was fun. I thought that's really neat that you got a little bit of history thrown in there. You can have a little mini dog park or streets there at a central location so people feel safe with their dogs, and I like it. It's fun.
Yeah. No clients will see this. They don't need to be ever going there, but it will at least be a place of a central hub for staff. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. And but obviously I did when John was like, "Well, do you need to come by and see the place?" I was like, "No, I don't need to see it."
I remember what it was like.
I remember it. I doubt I don't think you've done any additions, so sounds good to me. So
Megan, did you just ask him, does it look the same? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I got it.
Yeah, exactly. It basically looks the exact same. So it is the exact same.
Hopefully it doesn't have the same carpet still. That would be.
It has new carpet.
Okay, that's good.
Walls do need a fresh coat of paint, and so
they were just white, like brown.
Yeah, it was like brown shag carpet. It was pretty gross.
And it's so yeah. Now they've got that just real tight knit industrial kind of carpet.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, good. Okay, cleans up a little bit.
Is it still brown?
still no, it
probably.
Is not brown.
Oh, is it blue? That's the other industrial carpet color.
It's like that blue with the black every now and
then.
Yep,
I know exactly what you're talking
about. Yeah, it's not anything special, but no, I was excited about that.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I think well, I don't know what our schedule is pretty packed that weekend, I think, because I was just like, oh, we should do an Oh Brother recording from the office.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Absolutely. It'd be great.
Be like, Dad, I know it's your birthday. We have things to do first. Please hold on.
Yeah. Dad, we'll be back.
Oh my God.
Be fine. He'll just be like, okay, whatever.
I'll be like, you guys are the weirdest people ever.
Us.
Yes. Special guest episode, Dad.
Father.
I am all for this, but anyway. So
amazing.
Lots to plan, apparently. So
apparently.
Oh well. That's all I got.
Right. I have for you at the very end a very brief review of my night last night.
Oh, what?
Yes. So we had some people come over to the house yesterday, and we played a game.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of sweet, and I think you would like it. So we played this game. It is called hold on, I have it on my phone. It's called BlackBrim 1876. And it's like a puzzle escape room game.
Oh.
And it was kind of awesome, right? So I'm going to read you this synopsis here from the website. Set during Victorian era in the English town of BlackBrim, you are a private detective who has received a package containing mysterious clues from a police commissioner shortly before he was kidnapped. He and the entire police force are being held hostage. To save them, you must solve the cryptic puzzles the perpetrator has left behind. Are you up for the challenge? So it's like this really cool kind of thing where like you just get these envelopes in sequential order, and then like there's an online resource where you can get like hints and stuff, and you can check your answers to whether or not you were right. And you just like solve these puzzles. So the first one was like you have to find the location. It was like this series of clues to figure out where people are being held. Right. And then once you found that, then part 2 was like it was like this place, and every room you had to solve a puzzle to save one of the police people that was like locked in some sort of area, right? And so it was like a series of all these like really crazy like puzzles and like code things and like cipher messages and stuff like that. All in this like little package thing. It was really sweet. It was really good, except for like one of the rooms was like, what the heck is going on? This is the most convoluted, ridiculous. I got grumpy at that one, but the rest of them were like pretty good. And after you looked at them for a while, you could kind of figure them out, right? And it was fun. It was fun that we had like, how many people were here? 1, 2. It's like 5 or 6 of us. 6, I think. So that made it better too. I imagine if you're doing this like 2 people, that would kind of be awful. But
cool.
But it was cool. Like it was one of those like puzzle escape room in a box things, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. So we did that last night, and yeah. So I thought it was a lot of fun. It's got all these like cool things all printed out on different stuff in their little envelopes, and you bring them out the first part, there's just like a whole bunch out, and you can solve them in whichever order you want to. But it's like a whole big series of puzzles where you're trying to find like codes, and like usually you're looking for some kind of like. In this one, it was like your answer was going to be some kind of word, right? You were trying to distill everything down to a word. So some of them were like word puzzles, or like the answer to a riddle. You like you like decode the riddle, and then like the answer to the riddle is the solution that you're looking for, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we played that last night. So that was pretty cool. So it was pretty fun. Good times again. BlackBrim 1876. Fun times.
And I'm guessing that everything is like period themed.
Yes.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah. So there was one of the parts where like one of the puzzles was like you had to basically find there was like some kind of clue, and you were looking for like the double letters in the word, right? And then it was a series of photographs. And then so like you say the name of that place has like 2 E's. Okay, well you need that E to then make your solution later, right? But some of the buildings were like, what is that? So there was a lot of Googling. You can like Google. They like encourage you like use Google, use like stuff to help you like look up, because some of the pictures are from the time period, and you're like, that's not what that building looks like now.
I see.
So you kind of had to do some of that stuff. But yeah, it was kind of cool.
How long did it take you?
It took us a few hours.
Oh wow!
With a break in the middle.
Okay.
So like we did the first round because there's like 2 halves. Like one was like find the building they're in, and then second one was like because there was like a map with like a whole bunch of stuff on it. So like puzzle out which building it is, and then solve all the rooms in that building. So I'm trying to remember. They left close to. It took us a few hours. I don't remember, but we did take a break in between session 1 and session 2, just like hang out and talk for a while.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like consecutive problem solving. But I could see how it could take you many hours if you were like working alone or with like another person to try to do this. It would take forever.
Oh, I bet. Well, especially because I think if you weren't like uh people who don't do those kind of puzzle solving things too, or have an recommended age range for people.
This one, I don't know if it has one on here, but this one is definitely for older people, right?
I remember we played a game like that one time.
Yeah, this one says 14 and older, just because it's like they're hard, right? Like,
well, I mean, it is the thing. We played one that didn't we? Where we all dressed up.
Yeah.
To do
we did that. We talked about that murder mystery thing that we did.
Yeah.
It was similar to that.
Okay.
Except for this one, like there wasn't. It was kind of themed that way, except for this one was more like escape roomy, where it was like you weren't. It wasn't like one of the people there was the bad guy.
Sure.
You know, it was like you're all working to try to solve this like story. You're working together to save the police department and uncover the identity of this like bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. So it was kind of cool. Like there was definitely a couple that were like way harder than the rest of them. So that was a little bit weird. There was a couple, there was one room in particular where it was like, what in the world is this? Like,
oh no.
So yeah, that was kind of frustrating because the rest of them, there was like a good rhythm going. Like we would do it, we would like teamwork it out and like we could solve it and stuff. And then a lot of them have like several small parts to it. So like some of us kind of like paired off and just started working on one section. Or if you're like, oh, I know what to do with this, like you just grab it and you can work it out and then put all your solutions together at the end to get the word or whatever. So some of them had that really good flow going on. And then this room was just like, bleh. Like, the puzzle was like way longer than the rest of them. And like, it didn't make as much sense. It was way more convoluted than.
Oh, really?
Yeah, than the rest of them was. And it was like much more time consuming and you couldn't really, it was harder to do it together because you just was like read this like thing and then like puzzle it out from it. So it was like, bleh. So that annoyed me, but we got it done. And then like, then the rest of them were like, oh, hey, this is fun again. So like,
well, yeah, you'll have ones, I'm sure. Well, and yeah, I think just sometimes with those puzzles, there's like how familiar you are with general concepts or themes, like you solve those a lot faster. So
yeah,
other ones where you're just like, ooh, are these words?
Yeah. Well, it would say things like, you know, the directions, like the quote unquote directions that you uncovered were like hyper vague, and you're like, do you mean do this or do this, or like they had several different interpretations, and so that was really annoying because you like didn't know if you were doing it the right way or not, and it's like so that was upsetting. But you know, other than that, it was all right.
Well, good.
It's kind of fun.
Does the same company make other ones?
They do. There are, on this thing I'm looking at here, there is the sequel to that one, and then there's these two other ones that I don't know what they are.
Oh.
So yeah, there's at least 4 here. So
right.
There's a sequel. We might do that at some point. And then there's these 2 other ones that look kind of cool. So to see if anybody would want to do them. I did get slightly grumpy with some of my friends because like they were clearly over it and they were just sort of like not helping at all. And I was like, guys, come on.
Stop it. You know, what's funny is Megan and I often talk about what would happen if she and I went on one of those like puzzle game shows together.
Oh yeah.
And I for sure would not make it out alive.
Yeah.
If we were doing like the Amazing Race kind of things, no, she would just be on the side of the road. She'd be like, "It's not that hard. You just have to solve it. It's easy." No, I feel feel your pain.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's really frustrating because it's like a team event and you're like trying to collectively solve a thing. So if like one person is like giving up and is not doing anything, like, and I understand there's other reasons for that, right? Like they could be frustrated with the difficulty level and whatever. Like, I understand that. But it also makes me frustrated. Like, why are you not helping? What are you doing?
I understand.
But other than that, it was good.
Well, that
So.
sounds like really fun.
It was pretty fun. So there you go. There's my review of my
Black
game thing that we played.
like it.
I like it.
Boom. Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll survive the new year. And Aaron, your other additional celebratory
Sure.
plans,
Impending birthday.
pending day of birth, and yeah,
And
we'll do this.
bus driver hat shopping.
But that's actually what we'll be
Yes.
doing. If-
Commence.
We've already given you. I'll just lump right into this. We've already given you a lot of really great advice on cars to buy, so we can continue to send you hat advice as well, and make sure you get the right one. Too.
I shall.
Maybe we should take him to PFI.
Oh, I'm sure there's stuff there I can find.
This game changing. Game changing. Okay. Well, we'll plan all that later. Okay.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.